So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mels Gaming here with an incredibly special The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now, as it does say in the title, there are going to be story spoilers in this video from older stories in Call of the Wild, but in case you don't want to see any kind of spoilers for any of the stories at all, then I would recommend clicking away now, because we are going to be talking about different story stuff and, you know, just a few different spoilery things throughout this video, including the clip that we just took a look at. Now, there's going to be a couple of clips here at the start that were part of this project I've been working on, and as you will have seen from the title, my project was working on getting 100% achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wild, and I am extremely happy to say I have actually managed to get 100% achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wild, which is something I've never done before at all. A lot of these stories and stuff I had done on Xbox, and I just never did them on PC, so I had a lot of missing achievements. And basically I've spent the last, I don't know, week or so going through and completing all of these achievements that I probably would have once had on Xbox from doing all of these stories, but I didn't have on PC. And it's been really interesting. There has been some really challenging things, some really cool things, some cool animals and trophies along the way, and we're just gonna sit and go through everything. But I am super happy that I have actually managed to achieve this. This is a really big deal for me to actually finally get all of the achievements for this game that I've put, you know, so many thousands of hours into. I'm at over 6,700 hours on PC, and I know I had roughly 1,000 hours on Xbox before I actually moved onto PC. So now we're just going to go through and scroll through the entire achievements list. Like I said, there are 160 achievements for this game. They vary from completing different stories to doing different challenging things like taking a European bison with a heart shot from the bow. You know, there's a lot of different challenges and things within these achievements. And it's been really cool to go back and revisit some older maps and do some things that I don't think I've ever done. Like the Hirschfelden story missions. I don't think I ever did all of those. The Leighton Lakes story missions. I'm pretty sure I never did all of those. Things like the different side missions on Rohonga. You know, lots of things I had never done before, and they were all actually really cool. And not only did they pay very well in game, like I said, they were actually quite fun to do things that were challenging. Now, Pepes challenge, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, was really hard. You had to harvest 5 animals from one herd on Medved Tiger with a heart shot from a bow. Now, it sounds fairly simple in practice, you know, call in a herd of reindeer or something and just heart shot them one by one. But what kept happening is I would either get the heart shots and then find that it was 2 different herds that had come in and I'd only shot maybe 3 from one herd and 2 from another, or I would end up, you know, find a herd of 5 and then the last heart shot would go wrong. I know at one point I heart shot 4 out of 5 of a herd, and I chased down the last female, and I took the shot and she actually glitched to the side because of a rock, and it ended up hitting her in the shoulder blade, and I was so disheartened. Eventually I finally managed to do it with a reindeer herd that I called in, and I was so happy to get that achievement done. But some of the achievements were things that I just didn't know were achievements, like to harvest a lynx when it was eating, or to take a spirit colour brown bear with a handgun. And so I went and I did those, and it was, you know, interesting to do. Now, some of these I did sort of in the lead up to this sort of final push that I've done in the last week, so some of the dates are a bit older, but most of it has been sort of within the last week, and it's been really cool. Like, it's been interesting to go back and sort of look at aspects of the game that I haven't seen in a long time. Because, you know, I'm normally focused on grinding for some kind of trophy or hunting multiplayer, looking for different trophies. And it's been interesting, like I said, to go back to some of the very beginning parts of the game to get some of these achievements. And I found a couple of bugs, and I found some interesting things, and it's just been a very interesting experience. But I couldn't be happier to now be sat here and say that I do have 100% achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wild, which for me, I just think, seeing as it's a game that I put so much work into and so many hours into, it just felt like I should go and try and get all of the achievements. And obviously some of these achievements you just get by playing the game. Like, you know, there's certain, like, travel distances and stuff like that, and you'll just get those from playing the game as normal. But some of them have been just, you know, having to go out and specifically actually go and, like, work for them. So it's been interesting, and I'm just so happy. This bit is basically just going to be me rambling, and I'm just really excited to be able to share this, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, and I'm really, 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 really pleased that it ended up all working out, and I can sit here and make this video now and say, you know, not only have I been working on getting trophies and stuff, but I've worked on getting all of the achievements that this game has to offer as well, and it just feels like another aspect of achievement and fulfillment for me for a game that I love so much. But oh wait, there's one hidden achievement remaining. Now, this is the bit that I have to sit and explain, because I technically do have 100% achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wild. I have 160 of 160. So you might be wondering, what is this one hidden achievement remaining? Well, it's the Quattro Kus Ark. Now, if you were looking at those achievements as I scrolled through them, you'll have noticed that I have every single achievement to unlock the Quattro Kus Ark. And if we go to Quattro here and I scroll through, you will see I have all of the story missions completed and every single side mission. There is a bug that doesn't unlock the Quattro Kus Ark achievement. I have everything to unlock that achievement, but it is bugged. And I did some research, and it seems like it's been bugged for years. I have reported this to the devs, but the only way to get around it, from what I could actually find through searching online, is to download somebody else's save file and keep basically doing the last mission over and over until it hopefully triggers the achievement to unlock. And I do not want to do that. I am not interested in messing about with files like that and, you know, risking my game in any way, shape or form. So I know I should have that achievement. I do have it, technically, it's just not unlocked because of a bug. And I need to explain that because, you know, anybody that sees this video and then goes to my Steam profile is going to see that it says 159 out of 160 and 99%. But I do have that achievement, it is just bugged. There's nothing I can do. I'm not willing to risk my save file or messing about with swapping my save file for some random person on the internet's save file. I'm not doing that. I have told the devs, and I am hoping that they'll either get rid of the achievement and just leave it as the, you know, all of the individual achievements for completing all the individual arcs, or that they'll actually fix the achievement. That, you know, that would be the ultimate goal, is if they actually fixed it. So I can only hope, and then if they do fix the achievement, it should just auto unlock. But I know, and you guys know from looking at my achievements and everything, that I do have that 100% completion it's just not showing because of a years old bug. Some people have been really lucky and had it work, but it seems like a lot of people have ended up in the same place as me and unfortunately had it not work. So that's really a shame. It was interesting seeing the rhino on Vrohonga again. That was an achievement to find that particular rhino in the story missions. And then doing all these collectibles on Medved, that took forever. I did follow some guides to actually find all of these collectibles because those were achievements to go and find all of the different paleontology collectibles and then to get all of the antler sheds as well. So I did follow some guides and go from point to point to get every single one that I had missed. I had picked up several, so I had to try and work out which ones I hadn't collected, and it took hours of just going around Medved to go and find these collectibles. But again, it's an aspect of the game that, you know, it's something that you don't always think about, is the fact that there are shed antlers on a couple of the maps, like Medved, and, you know, different collectibles like the skulls and the mammoth tusks, and I missed that on some of the older maps. I wish there were things like that on the newer maps. It's pretty cool. Now, of course, there were a few mission animals, including Sausage, the wild boar from Hirschfelden. We had Mr. Black, the black bear. Then there is a Roosevelt elk bull that you can get on Leighton Lakes as well, which is just called the Roosevelt elk bull. That was a cool one because I don't think I've ever done this particular mission. And then there was the were coyote. Now, unfortunately, this kind of all just went wrong. This spot would not stop lagging for my game, and that shot ended up bugging out as well. Somehow, believe it or not, it hit the coyote in the spine, frontal, but didn't hit the lung. And it showed the bullet hitting the lung, which was really weird. And because they were mission animals, I didn't want to spend a lot of time focusing on those particular animals. However, one mission animal I did want to spend some time on because it is technically a unique encounter and a unique skin is the albino brown bear from Medved. And like I said, it's been years since I ever did these missions. I mean, I did the Medved missions on Xbox like right when I first started playing, so years and years ago at this point. And I didn't know that they've changed it so that this bear just immediately charges you. When I did this on Xbox, I crawled into this cave and the bear just stood broadside and I shot it. And so when I got into this cave and it actually charged me like that, I was in complete shock and panicking. But then it ran into the chamber where I found it on Xbox previously, all those years ago, and then was just running in circles, but it said calm. So I had to time my shots really, really carefully there in order to actually get this as a diamond. And I don't count mission diamonds and stuff really. I don't normally tax mission animals or anything. But this was a really cool one because, like I said, it is a unique skin and everything, and I didn't want to mess it up because I thought it would be a cool one to actually get, because, like, you can see the blood on this bear, which is part of the story, and it's just a really, really cool animal, and it is a max weight diamond albino brown bear. Now, obviously, this isn't a true super rare, it's a story mission animal. But still, that was really cool, and I was really proud of the shots I made there. Managed to double tap it in the lungs while it was doing that really, really odd behaviour. So it felt like a bit more of an achievement than just shooting some of the other story mission animals. So this was actually really, really cool. And again, like I said, it's just something I haven't seen or done in years. And it just sort of brought me back to the very beginning days of me playing this game and falling in love with it for all of these different aspects. It was really, really cool. Now, moving on to Parque Fernando, where there was another challenge that I was expecting to take a little while. That being a sample of Parque Fernando's finest, where you had to shoot a diamond of all of the original species on Parque Fernando. So everything excluding the javelina or the collared peccary. They obviously weren't on the map when this map originally released, and so aren't part of this mission, but you have to harvest a diamond of everything that was on Parque when this map originally released and put them in the lodge that is on the map. And the very first one that I ended up getting for this mission was this max weight 266.71 scoring big rack diamond red deer. Now, I found this guy as I was basically putting up tents and tripods to grind for all of the different species on this map, and I think he must have respawned from some red deer I shot when I was checking all my single player maps a few months ago. So that was a really nice one to get right off the bat. And really interesting, when you put it in the lodge, it is the old legacy rack diamond red deer rack, which is really, really cool, because my first ever diamond red deer had that rack, and I shot it on Hirschfelden back in the days where you had to get 100% quick kill, and I remember shooting a red deer with that rack in the brain, and it was one of my, original diamonds in the game, and seeing that rack on the wall there really did just remind me of that, so it was really, really cool. The next max level animal that I had show up during this challenge was this absolutely giant guaranteed diamond water buffalo. Now, this was my first diamond water buffalo since these guys got their rework with Sundar Patan, and I mean, just wow. Just comparing the model now and thinking about hunting them on Parque, back in the day when they used to have the old models, I mean, the difference is astounding. What a beautiful buffalo. And he also ends up being max weight and scores 173.36, which I do believe makes him my biggest diamond water buffalo ever. Like, this was such a cool trophy to get. I was at this point, grinding all of the species that I still needed for that Trophy Lodge challenge, and this guy showing up was just amazing. He was so difficult to actually get a shot on, and when I finally managed to get that shot and saw him going down, it was such a relief. What an amazing, amazing giant buffalo. Like I said, just thinking back to the old days of hunting Parque, right when I started hunting in this game, and thinking about the old water buffalo, and just how much better and how much improved they are now doing this is absolutely crazy. Now, putting him in the lodge, and I kind of forgot that the water buffalo in this lodge is actually on a Euro mount. It's like a almost like black velvet looking effect skull, and I really, really like this, and I wish that they would make mounts like this to go in our normal trophy lodges, because to me that looked awesome. Then I ended up finding this guy, an absolutely giant looking level 5 axis deer, and again, these guys got a rework with the Australia map with Emerald Coast, and they just are so much better than they were back in my original days of hunting Parque. I mean, they got true racks quite a few years ago at this point, which was sort of their first improvement. And then, like I said, on Emerald Coast, they got these absolutely beautiful new sort of body models that got reworked, and they look fantastic now. I mean, they're just a completely different beast to what they used to be when I started playing this game all those years ago. And like I said, this is what this challenge did, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to do it, is almost like bringing me back to my roots of when I started playing this game, and seeing the changes from then until now is just so wild. And he's a decent size diamond axis deer with a little bit of character to him. You can see those brow tines aren't completely even, and he's just beautiful. I mean, they're so beautiful now. They're not these tiny little axis deer like they used to be. I mean, even the diamond axis deer, back when Parque released, had the tiniest antlers. They were so small, and now they're these giant, incredibly beautiful looking deer. They are so much cooler than they used to be. But when you place, obviously, the rack in the lodge, it's a very different looking set of antlers. And I actually really like these antlers. I think they're really cool with that extra tine. And if they ever do a great one-axis steer, I would love to see a rack like that, but scaled up for a great one-axis steer. Just a lot of mass, extra tines. I think it could look really cool. The next max level that I ended up finding was a 9 legendary Puma, and I was really happy when I found this guy. I had shot a few Pumas at this point, and I'm not sure if this guy was a respawn or one that I just didn't see originally. And he did end up making diamond, which was a huge relief, because grinding these guys I was not enjoying on this map. It just wasn't particularly fun. And so when I actually got this guy and he did make diamond, and is actually a decent size at 39.34, I was really pleased. Basically, normally the diamond pumas or mountain lions that I get, them being basically the same thing in game, you know, they use the same models, scoring, everything, they just have the different names. You know, normally if I get a diamond for either of them, they end up being like minimum diamond score. So to get one that was a decent bit above was actually really nice. And in fact, my first ever diamond in the Hunter Call of the Wild was a 9 legendary Puma here on Parque Fernando. And I remember it was in the like dead forest, and I remember spotting it and seeing the 9 legendary and panicking so hard about making a good shot on this potential diamond, and got it, and it was my first ever diamond. And so again, some memories of my, you know, very beginning days in this game getting brought up by doing this challenge. Now, the next max level that I ended up finding was this level 3 cinnamon teal, and I was super happy to find this because I did not want to have to grind cinnamon teal really. So super happy to spot this, and it is actually a diamond. You know, a lot of the birds and stuff, they can troll now since the scoring changes and all of those things a little while ago. And not only does this guy make diamond at 4.62, but he is also the red plumage type, which I have been informed is actually technically an uncommon for these guys, like the piebalds. So that was really cool to actually get. And again, some weirdness with shots on this game. I mean, we won't talk about what's happening to that duck's pelvis in that harvest screen, but it also looks like the actual bullet went straight over the top of the duck. So some weird things happening again, but it's just a really cool trophy and one that I'm super happy to get. Now, you may have noticed there, as we walked past the Puma location in this trophy lodge, it's actually gone invisible. Basically, that is also a bug. I have reported it. I don't know why, but it seems that sometimes if you place a Puma in this lodge, that they can go invisible, which is a big shame because you can see the rocks, so you know that there should be a Puma there, because when you haven't placed something on that stand, there's no rocks for the Puma to be stood on, but the rocks are there, but there's no Puma, so that's a shame. But at the end of the day, it is just, you know, to complete this challenge, and I probably won't end up looking at it in that lodge again. It will be, you know, in my own lodge if anything, so bit of a shame, but at least we did get one in the lodge, and now we have the cinnamon teal. And then I ended up getting this guy, a giant level 5 mule deer. I was so happy when this guy showed up. I shot quite a few mule deer before this guy actually ended up, you know, spawning, and I was really pleased because I had a troll mule deer before this guy actually showed up, and it was such a shame. It was the really small rack that can really rarely make diamond, but it just had no chance. It was a guaranteed troll, so that was a real shame. And then when I spotted this guy, I was just like, okay, that's one of the bigger racks, that guy's a diamond, as long as I can make the shot. And you can see he's got a massive score of 332.86. That is a really big diamond mule deer. Managed to get the frontal lung shot there. I was going for the heart, and looking at it, it looked like the bullet just didn't pen enough to get through to the heart with all of that flesh that was there in sort of the front of the neck. But what a gorgeous deer. And the pose that I shot him in makes him look so majestic. I mean, that is such a majestic looking deer. They really are beautiful. Again, a species I'd like to see get a remodel one day and improve the actual models of the animals. You know, they've got the new antlers, but the models could do with a little bit of a rework to make them look better, but still a really, really cool diamond to get, and another diamond for the Parquet Lodge. Now, obviously this rack is based off the old mule deer racks, but not too dissimilar to the one that we just shot, so really quite cool. And finally, the last animal I needed here to complete the diamond challenge on Parque Fernando was a diamond black buck. Again, one of the most recently reworked species with the release of Sundar Patan, the newest map, and this guy is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. He scores 134.51, so a little bit above the diamond requirement, not massive, but enough to actually complete this challenge. What a gorgeous black buck. Again, these guys have had such a glow up with their new models, with the new map. They look amazing. Again, they got their true horns a little while ago, and now with the new models, they just look so fantastic. I mean, just such beautiful, beautiful animals. You know, they even got some new rares with Sundar Patan, so just really, really cool. And I was so glad when this guy actually made it, because I had 2 trolls prior to this guy showing up. So when this guy actually finally made it, I was so happy to get this Parquet challenge actually completed with such a beautiful black buck. I mean, they're just gorgeous now. They really are simply gorgeous, and they have some of the most beautiful rares. And I got a few other interesting trophies while hunting for this guy, so those will be in a different video later along the line. But placing him in the lodge, and you can see Parque Fernando trophy collection mission completed. So we get the achievement of Parque Fernando's finest. Really, really happy with that. But finally, we are now going to complete the last achievement I needed to get, and actually the achievement that was sort of the catalyst to me wanting to do this challenge and go and get 100% completion for the Hunter Call of the Wild. And that achievement is Ghost, to harvest an albino grey wolf. Now, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I was sort of casually looking through my Call of the Wild achievements, seeing which ones were actually missing from my list, and I noticed that I didn't have Ghost. And I was like, oh, I must have never harvested an albino grey wolf on PC. I know I had, I think, multiple on Xbox. I know I had at least one, but I'm pretty sure I had a couple of them. But I must have never shot one on PC. And this made me start grinding for grey wolves, and then I was like, why don't I just go and get every achievement, including this one? And so I went and did all of the other achievements, put this grind on hold, and then came back to it after completing the Parque Fernando Lodge. And last night, finally, this incredibly stunning level 3 female albino grey wolf actually showed up. And she is incredible. She has pink, glow-in-the-dark eyes. This is something I didn't know about the albino grey wolves. I have barely hunted wolves, like, ever. I've had a few diamonds and a few rares. Like I said, my rares were mostly on Xbox. I've had a couple of rares on PC, a couple of melanistics, but obviously never an albino. And I didn't know that they now have eyes that glow in the dark. And when I was looking at her through the scope, I could see the glowing eyes. And I was like, that is insane. And then actually seeing her on the ground, and you can see those pink eyes glow. I mean, that is one of the most incredible things, and something I completely wasn't expecting to find out during this challenge. But what a simply beautiful animal. Now, it was several updates ago. I can't even remember when. It might have been Emerald Coast or slightly before. there was some improvements to the Grey Wolf model. They did something. They improved the textures around, I think, the neck and the face a little bit, and they look so much better than they used to. Especially the albinos. Like, if you go and watch older videos where people have shot albino grey wolves, like when Yukon released, you'll see the difference between then and now. I still feel that the grey wolf overall as a species could do with improvements, but this is a far more beautiful albino wolf than I ever got to harvest on Xbox. I mean, what a stunning animal. And I did take her with the 270 Stradivarius, which is my favourite gun in the game. It's just so beautiful. Or I should say favourite looks-wise. Overall, I'm a 300 gal. I love the 300, both the bolt action and the AR. But in terms of looks, the 270 Stradivarius has my heart. I love fancy guns with the carvings and engravings, and the 270 Stradivarius has always been one that I've really loved. So it was a perfect fit to take her with that rifle. I mean, just what a gorgeous wolf. I mean, she's so stunning. I'm so excited to be able to put her in the lodge. And I know I have a melanistic female, and I have a now rare red-brown male that I shot on Medved when I sort of rebooted my moose grind all those months ago, because they used to be uncommon, the red browns and the egg whites, but they did get actually made rare, and then I ended up shooting a gold male red brown on Medved. I did actually have him in a video. It was a complete surprise. I got attacked by a pack of wolves after they got added to Medved as I was grinding moose, and there was this, I think, level 7 gold red-brown wolf, which I've never actually had in the lodge, but it makes a perfect fit for the multi-mount with 2 rare females and now a rare male, so it just fits so perfectly. What an amazing wolf. When I first spotted her, I wasn't sure if it was an albino, but she was walking away, and that's why I was looking at the feet there, because I was pretty sure that I could see pink paw pads, even through the night vision, and that's what made me think that actually could be my albino. And I went and picked up the track, and sure enough, she was an albino, and then obviously we came and took her out. But I mean, I'm just so thrilled. I always do this, I ramble. I'm so pleased to be sat here and able to say I have 100% completed the achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wilds, and to complete it with an albino grey wolf. You know, rares are one of my absolute favourite things in this game. I love finding rare fur varieties or plumage types. They're just, I love rares. And to finish it with a rare as beautiful as this, it's just perfect. And like I said, this was the inspiration for doing this challenge. So it couldn't have been a more fitting way to wrap up this challenge. Absolutely awesome. I'm so pleased, and I cannot wait to share this video and be able to tell people that, yeah, I did actually manage to get all of the achievements for the Hunter Call of the Wild. Obviously there's the one that's bugged, but the devs do know about it, I've made sure, so hopefully something gets fixed with that, but I couldn't be happier. I know I've got my 100%, even if it doesn't quite show. I've got my 160 of 160, something I've never done before, and ended up with some really cool trophies along the way, including this beautiful albino grey wolf. Just perfect. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But that is going to be it for this video, so I really hope you have enjoyed it. Something a little bit different. Like I said, there's a couple of projects that I've been wanting to work on. This was one of them. I expected this to take longer than it has, but I really knuckled down and just, you know, doing my 12-hour days, really got on with it and managed to do it a lot quicker than I expected. So I'm really pleased with how everything went. I could not be happier. I'm so pleased. But like I said, that is going to be it for this one. So thank you so much for watching and for all your amazing support as always. You are all so kind. So thank you so very much. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.